Hey y'all, grown black folks talk back out on the climb with, and also now on YouTube. Oops, sorry, that went, and TikTok. I just had a thought today. Like I said, there were some other things I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to give it just one more day to marinate because I wasn't done with my research. YouTube, in its infinite wisdom, or whatever passes for wisdom in the algorithm, served me up a new SYSBM Passport Bro channel. And I thought to myself, well, I've learned from Confidence with Love. Let me go ahead and watch people I don't agree with. But I've always kind of done this because even if I don't agree with you, I still want to understand where you're coming from. But something about this man, generally I don't consider SYSBM or Passport Bros an op, if you will, because if you're leaving, then you're not going to be of concern. If you're leaving, you're not raising the black femicide numbers. If you're leaving, you're not going to do anything that's going to encumber your being able to leave, like picking up a felony. You're not going to do that. However, I always underestimate. See, when I leave things, I'm done. I don't go back. I consider it my job to get free. And so in getting into freedom, I'm not necessarily thinking about what I left behind, because if my mind isn't free, then I'm not free either. I tend to assume people have that much sense of what it takes, and I'm almost always disappointed because people don't. Some of these men are trapped in their own minds, and I found out just how bad it was by listening to this gentleman. It took a couple of videos for me to piece it together. Number one, he did an entire video, and just think about this even in analogy, okay? You're leaving American black women, but you like Simone Biles, and you think that women should be on the Simone Biles standard. Okay, fine. So you're gonna say to black women in general who you're leaving, either come up to the Simone Biles standard or drive me to the airport. I may give you gas money. Wait. Number one, forget how it's do what I want you to do or do what I want you to do. Those are the only two choices for black women in this mindset. And yeah, he uses all the usual demeaning language and stereotypes that white supremacy has taught that were cool. He's picked up all those, all the disrespectful terms, and calls himself a Muslim. Okay. All right. But the thing is, I wasn't so much worried about what that said to me as a black woman, because I'm like, wait, you want to leave, but you can't get to the airport. There's no third option for you. If you have money for gas money, you could get an Uber or a Lyft, but you don't have it to pay that $150 to get to the airport from where I am. That passport costs the same amount, but you can't get there unless a black woman takes you there. Just an analogy, I want you to think about how messed up that is. You've presented me two options. The only two options you could think of, and both of them involve me having to do something for you to have anything, but you leave it. You've put it in my hands to decide whether you leave or not. Because if I have, you need me to do something so you want to stay, but you also need me to do something you want to leave. So then if I decide you're not going anywhere, since you haven't given yourself a third option, I can basically keep doing what I am doing, which is basically like, man, sir, I'm not Simone Biles and you are not Jonathan Owens. And since you're leaving it in my hands to get to the airport, sit there and take it. You going to acknowledge me as a free human being that you don't make demands of today. That's option three. If you don't give yourself any other option, then I thought to myself, these men are ill. So then I kept listening, and I read through some of the comments, and I'm like, but you're leaving, but you're in your comments talking about we're going to have to be sure to punish these women who are out of line, but we're going to have to make sure we're just as good as rewarding the ones who are in line. Sir, wherever it is that you think you are going as Passport Bro, the army that you are leaving behind, which I am still a citizen of the country, is bigger than yours. Even if you go to China, and I wouldn't recommend you do that because over there, Passport Bros get out of lines with their women and they execute them. China would be able to give the United States a run for its money, granted. But unless you're going to do that, you in what army, sir? Are you going to leave me, go to a whole different country, and tell me anything about anything? Because you're leaving. Then there was, it's actually sad, but the ridiculosity of it. Actually, I could really stop there. But it's just like, your mind is so tied up with what you are leaving behind that mentally you will never leave. But then there was the video that really told me about this man and the bitterness that these men are stuck in. He said the job of SYSBM man is not done until he has made friends with the local men and let it be known that the madness that we're escaping from is chasing them down, because black women want to make black men Jonathan Majors all over the world. I assure you that 18 million of us have better things to do. Trying to survive in America is enough. I assure you that we have better things to do. I assure you that if we want to leave, we're not trying to take over the place that you're in, because we have places of our own. He mentioned that he has started a business that's going to try to help one SYSBM settle in. He won't name the country, which is fine. But I'm just sitting up there like, you got to build a whole business. You know, we have black women living abroad that have been sending women on sabbaticals and worldwide trips for years, raising 5-figure money, just doing what they're doing. The only time that those women even bother to even speak to black men is when black men come into the comments and get mad because she doesn't do stuff for them, which goes back to the beginning. If you can't leave unless I drive you to the airport, the power dynamic is further to the left than you thought it was for you. And indeed, he mentioned that there was one particular passport bro, and we only know the passport bro perspective on it. One black woman made a phone call and locked that man out of 2 countries. The power dynamic's way over. Because again, if you can't get to the airport and a single black woman can lock you out of 2 countries, power dynamic is way, 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 way over. And in fact, having listened further, he actually conceded this. We've lost America. So this is the conversation of defeated men who, wherever they go, are going to be fighting a battle that they lost where they were, and are hoping as foreigners that they can pull someone else into this to be vindicated. Kept listening. Fellow's divorced, has a custody arrangement, but he does not like, and has not healed from this, and so is advising men to take their bitterness about these situations around the world and attempt to turn other groups of men who do not even know black women like that to turn against us. That's kind of deep. But let me tell you how we get out of the trap, okay? Hold on. TikTok has that 10-minute limit. Let me tell you how we get out of the trap. Everybody as a human being has to understand something, okay? There's what you think you are entitled to. There's what common grace allows you, and there's work you need to do to appropriate that grace. There's what you think you're entitled to. There's what common grace allows you, and there's the work you need to do to appropriate that grace. If you're not Jonathan Owens, you probably can't marry Simone Biles. She's never going to jump in your DMs. If you're not Michelle Obama, then don't worry about Barack. That's not the class of people that you're in. But you can do the work to do better than what you think you can get. But if you have out of control entitlements, you're going to be mad for the rest of your life, because even under common grace, you're not entitled to anything but common grace. Most people are average. You can get to be above average, but if you have your expectations set too high, what you're willing to work and get ready for, you can be mad and be bitter around the world, because unfortunately, wherever you go, there you are. So this poor insane gentleman is out here needing black women to drive him to the airport, dealing with the fact that a black woman can shut down a passport bro's access to wherever with one phone call, and is trying to do punishments on people that he's leaving behind. I mentioned this to y'all just to let you know, because I've got a few divestors out here talking about bullet bags and all the rest. Please heal. Common grace is more abundant than you can imagine, and there are plenty of ways to tap into it. That's why you see me talk about crypto education. Settle yourself down, let go of what you're leaving behind, and let's move forward. That's how you escape this very human trap that this man and others are in. Alright, I gotta get to work. I'll see y'all later. Bye. Thank you for listening.